Introduction. If it is determined after an assessment that ADL and IADL training are to be initiated, it is important to establish appropriate short and long-term goals based on the assessment and on the client priorities and potential for independence. The OT should estimate which ADL and IADL tasks are possible and which are not within the client potential to achieve. The ADL and IADL training program may begin with simple tasks and gradually increase in complexity. So what are the methods of teaching ADLs? Client who have perceptual problem, poor memory and difficulty following instruction of any kind need a more concrete step-by-step approach in which the amount of assistance is gradually reduced as success is achieved. So next is, for this client it may be important to break down the activity into small steps and progress through them slowly. Next method is physical cueing, such as passive movement of the part through the desired pattern to achieve a step or task, and gentle manual guidance through the task are helpful tactile and kinesthetic modes of instruction. And other method of teaching are include forward and backward chaining. As Batra and Batra pointed out, forward chaining is a concept first described by B.F. Skinner in relation to operant conditioning, reinforcement or punishment to change behavior. Then next techniques are, in this technique task chain are broken down into serial step and then taught from first step to last step. In backward chaining the task is taught in reverse chronological order. Forward or backward chaining can be used to teach ADL skill. An example of forward chaining for the ADL of putting on a sock may be having a client practicing holding a sock open, then the OT finishing the rest of the task if the clients get stuck. So before beginning the training in any ADL, the OT must prepare by providing adequate space and arranging equipment, materials and furniture for maximal safety and convenience. This serves as an example to client of using work simplification and energy conservation techniques. So next is recording progress in ADL performance. Before ADL training we have to do a checklist, ADL checklist. We have to use a ADL checklist. So the ADL checklist used to record performance on the initial assessment usually have one or more spaces for recording changes in ability and the result of reassessment during the training process. So next is assistive technology and adaptive equipment. What is assistive technologies? An assistive technology device is defined in the Assistive Technology Act of 2004 as any item, piece of equipment or product system, whether acquired commercially, off the shelf, modified or customized, that is used to increase, maintain or improve functional capabilities of individuals with disabilities. So what is assistive technology? It is also called adaptive equipment and also called as assistive devices, are generally used interchangeably throughout the profession. Adaptive equipment is used to compensate for a physical limitation, to promote safety and to prevent injury. Physical limitations are a loss of muscle strength or loss of range of motion and incoordination or sensory loss. So what are the specific ADL and IADL techniques? The techniques are summarized for individual with this physical deficit, who have limited range of motion or strength, having incoordination, hemiplegia or use of only one upper extremity, paraplegia, quadriplegia and low vision. So what are the activities? Dressing activities, feeding activities, personal hygiene and grooming activities, communication management and environmental adaptation, functional mobility, home management, meal preparation and cleanup activities. So first we will talking about lower extremity dressing activities. Use one of many commercially available dressing stick with a plastic coated hook on one end and a small hook on the other end for pushing and pulling garment off and on the feet and legs. To put on socks, use one of many different commercially available models of sock aid. To take off socks, use a reacher or dressing stick. These are the various adaptive devices that is used in coordination, loss of I already talking about limited range of motion or strength. So these are the different adaptive devices. So first picture is dressing sticks, second is handle reacher and third is sock aid. So upper extremity dressing activities. So for upper extremity dressing activity, we use of front opening garment that are one size larger than needed and made of fabrics and that have some stretch. Second is use dressing sticks. Previous slide having a dressing stick. So use dressing stick to push a shirt or blouse over the head. Third is use larger buttons or zipper with a loop on the pull tab. Fourth is replace button, snap and hook and eyes with a velcro or zipper. You have to use a replace button with a velcro or zipper. Client who cannot manage traditional fastening. Fifth is use one of several type of commercially available button hooks if finger range of motion or strength is limited or unavailable. So these are pictures of button hook and swell plate, built up handle and universal curve. So we will use these adaptive devices while feeding or any activities. So next is feeding activities. Use built up handle. Previous slide having a built up handles. You already saw that is a swell plate and a built up handle. So this adaptive devices we are using in feeding activities. Use build up handle on eating utensils that can accommodate limited grasp or prehension, grip or pinch pattern. Elongated or specifically curved handles on spoon and fork may be needed to reach the mouth. A swell spoon or spoon fork combination can compensate for limited forearm supination. Then next is universal cuff. Already in the picture there is a universal cuff. So universal cuff or utensil holder can be used if grasp is very limited and built up handles are not sufficient. Notice that the utensil sleeve is placed so that the tool to be used is put in the palm of the hand, not on the top of the hand. Next is plate guard or scoop dish may be useful to prevent food from slipping off the plate. Sixth is cups with nose cutout may be useful to person who have limited neck range of motion, who may be wearing a neck brace. Next is personal hygiene and grooming activities. I already define pictures, that is long handle brush and long handle brush. A long handle bath brush or sponge with a soap holder or a long cloth scrubber can allow the user to reach the leg, feet and back. A wash mitt and soap on a rope can aid limited grasp. Long handle on comb, brush, toothbrush, lipstick, mascara brush, safety or electric razor may be useful for client with limited hand to head or hand to face movement. Next is dressing stick can be useful to pull garment up after the client has used the toilet. So these are the long handle brush for using in bathing, and that next picture is bath mitt. Next is safety rails. This can be used in bathroom, can be used for bathtub transfer, and safety mats or strip can be placed on the bathtub bottom to prevent slipping. Then next is grab bar can be installed to prevent falls and to ease transfer. Next techniques is communication management and environmental modification adaptation. So these are the communication adaptive devices. Extended build up or lever handle on faucet can accommodate limited grasp. This picture is a Vanchik writer. So who have difficulty in writing, who have difficulty in grasping, this Vanchik writer we will use. Next is doorknob extension, who have difficulty in range of motion or any strength, so we will modify it in the door. So next is functional mobility. So various functional mobility activities are there in market. So first is a glider chair. So this first picture is a glider chair that is operated by feet, can facilitate transportation of if hip, hand and arm motion is limited. Next is platform crutches, can prevent stress on hand or finger joint and can accommodate limited grasp. Confer with the physical therapist about this option, because platform crutches may increase the weight and size of the walking aid and may actually be a detriment to the client's gait or maybe increase pressure on the shoulder. Next is enlarged grip on crutches. Canes and walker can accommodate limited grasp. Confer with the physical therapist about this option. So these are different crutches and walker. Next is these are modified wheelchair and a electric wheelchair. So a rest toilet seat can be used if hip and knee motion is limited. A walker with padded grip and forearm trough can be used if marked hand, forearm or elbow joint limitation are present. Confer with the physical therapist about this option. So next is dressing activities. These are the pictures of donning a shirt and this doffing a shirt. So doffing a shirt is unbutton the shirt, lean forward with the stronger hand, grasp the collar or gather up the material in back from the collar to hem. Lean forward, duck the head and pull the shirt over the head. Next is remove the sleeve from the stronger arm first, then from the affected arm. This is a donning a trouser, removing a trouser. Unfasten trouser and work them down the hips as far as possible while seated. Second is stand, letting the trouser drop past the hip or work them down past the hip. Third is remove the trouser from the stronger leg first. Sit and cross the affected leg over the stronger leg. Remove the trouser and uncross the leg. Thank you.